Your mother's a bedwetter, but things will get better. Welcome back. Glad you made it. It's a social production. That's right, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back. Thank you for joining me once again. It's what day is today? Wednesday. Motherfucking Wednesday. Right there, dudes. Ladies and gents. Wednesday, October. Is it October? Wait. September? October? It is October. Yes, that's right. October the 15th. Holy shit. Oh, we're almost there. Halloween's right around the corner. Can you feel it? It's your tits getting erect, your nips. That's what I'm talking about, ladies and gentlemen. It is Wednesday, the 15th of October, 2025. Wherever you're tuning in from, thank you for joining me once again. If you're tuning in from Canada, my family, further down south, more of my family. In the United States of the Americas, all 50 states, more of my familias over there in Mexico, South America, Europe, Asia, Africa, Antarctica, South Pole, North Pole, New Zealand, Papua New Guinea, Tokyo, Bangkok, Thailand. We'll get to that as well. And we'll get to everything. Jamaica, Wagwan, Venezuela, over there in Cuba, over there in Kazakhstan, over there in Serbia, over there in Montenegro, Montenegro, right there, Cote d'Ivoire, over there. That's enough for today. That's enough. You get it. All around the world. Let's get a sip of this bad boy. Right here. Hold on a sec. Let's get a sip of this shit right here. Your mother's a bedwetter and things will keep getting better. If you really want that ass, you gotta go get her. What am I even talking about? I don't even know. It's Wednesday. Let's just get right into it. Ladies and gentlemen, without further ado, first and foremost, let's Thailand. I said we'll go there and we'll go there right now. What is going on in Thailand? Not the beautiful Thai people. I'm talking about your animals. You know what the researchers, you know what the scientists recently discovered? Which I don't know how I feel about it, but we'll see how we feel about it together. They found a new species of spiders in Thailand. They're called ladyboy spiders. Actually, I call them ladyboy spiders. I don't know their technical scientific term, but they're half male spiders, half female spiders. They just discovered this new species of spiders in Thailand. What is going on in Thailand? Where were these ladyboy spiders before? And what is going on? Are more animals ladyboys, or is this a new thing? Is this something to do with the environment, or were they always there? That's my question. That's my question. If somebody could please answer that, leave a comment if you're in charge of the ladyboy spiders of Thailand. For anybody who's interested, they are releasing videos on OnlyFans. They're going to be attempting to impregnate themselves by inserting their huge spider cocks into their tight spider pussies, which is incredible. We've never seen this done before, but you can subscribe now. They've got an OnlyFans. That's right. Like your bedwetter mother. She too has an OnlyFans, I believe, if I'm not mistaken. There's nothing to be ashamed of. You got to get that money. You got to get that cheddar. Where do they come from, though? That's my question. How did this happen? Were they always around? Did we not notice just a spider that's got tits and a cock? Where's this? This isn't. Is it a sign of the times? Is that where we're all headed? Is that where it's? Is this because this is animals? You can depend on animals. Animals were like, you look at a tiger, it's just either tits or cock. You look at an eagle, it's either tits or vag, or tits and vag, and then maybe the other one's cock. But now you gotta, now I don't know how to feel about this. I don't know. It's do we need to start creating bathrooms, separate bathrooms for these ladyboy spiders? You know what I'm talking about? Because what are you gonna do? Have the ladyboy spiders just walk into an all-female bathroom? That's not gonna work. You're like, they're just spiders. Nothing's gonna come of it. Yeah, and they're not just spiders. They're little spiders who are counting on these safe facilities, public bathrooms, all right? Changing rooms and gyms for the spiders, all right? Can't just have ladyboy spiders walk in there with their huge cocks and their magnificent tits and shock the little ones out there, That's something wrong with that. And even if they're grown, even if they're fully grown bitches, spider puss. Even if they're gonna want to be comfortable changing in their own bathroom. So I'm just questioning things. We just discovered this. It is a new occurrence, or maybe it was always that. I don't know what caused it. Will you, is it one of those things where you take a trip down to Thailand, you're like, oh, I'm just gonna do my Southeast Asian trip and just have a ball. Just have a ball, get a couple of drinks at local bars, stay up late, chain smoke, and go get myself a lady of the night. Next thing you know, your pals are wandering on in an alley and you're falling behind, and it's a dark alley and there's a dim light flickering in the background. What's underneath it? You hear the call, come here, let me suck you off. Let me suck you off. And it's shadowy, it's mysterious. And you're like, you guys go ahead. I'll be right. I'll catch up with you in an hour or two. I'll catch you back at the hostel or the hotel. Don't worry about me. And you hear this soft voice, come here, I'll suck you off. Thai style. You see this motion in the background. All right, casting a shadow on the ground. You're like, oh, I'll catch up with you guys. Here, you go ahead. And they're like, be careful out there. That's what your friends tell you. And then you'd go and spend the evening for an hour or two, and you'd knock back more drinks, and you listen to Thai music, and you're getting your Slurpee on. And next thing you know, the sun is about to come up. And the sun has come up, and you'd wake up, and now you're looking at her, and it's a ladyboy spider. And you weren't prepared to deal with the consequence. What are you gonna do? You're gonna go back to your friends and tell them you got jerked off or sucked off by a ladyboy spider? Or you're gonna just tell them, oh, it was a regular spider. It was a regular female spider. Nothing. No, what happened, John? Nothing. What happened with you guys? Nothing interesting happened to me. I just got sucked off by a regular spider. What happened to you guys? All right. Meanwhile, you're flying back to wherever you came from. And that image is gonna be with you for the rest of your life. If you're not prepared, I'm just letting you know right now. Be careful when you're visiting Thailand. All right, wonderful people. I love the Thai people. I'm just asking questions, simple questions. Where do they come from? How big is the cock? How tight is the vag? And the OnlyFans, is it like a monthly subscription, or is it like a yearly? Is there a tier system is what I'm wondering. All right. That's all. I was just asking simple questions, ladies and gentlemen, and it's Wednesday. All right, let's get this party going. Let's get a sip of this bad boy. What else is going on? What's going on in my personal life? Thank you for asking. You're so thoughtful, so considerate. I'm glad you asked. I finally got to it. I started it. I said to myself a long time ago, because I like reading, all right, because I don't have a lady right now in my life to suck me off in the evening, so I gotta preoccupy myself with some extracurricular activity. And I do enjoy reading. All right, you finish a book, you pick up another one. I told myself at one point or another, I do want to pick up the Bible. I had attempted prior to this time. It was a long book, and I had to put it down because it was just like, too many names to keep up with. That's what, too many. This guy gave birth to that guy gave birth to this guy, and this guy's a descendant of that guy. I'm like, you're dropping too many names. You're all right. You're a name dropper. That's what you are. You're a name dropper is what I said. But I'll come back to you. Because I do like the knowledge. I do like the, it's interesting. I just, for whatever reason, you pick up a book, any book, and this was a good book. It's a good, solid book. I do have a few, it's a little bit longer than most books, and I'm not opposed to reading long books, 400 or 500 pages, no problem. We'll still read that one. But this was 6,000 pages. All right, God was not about cutting out the fat, I guess. It was just 6,000 pages is at least the version that I found. There's shorter ones, like 2,000 pages. I'm like, you're missing 4,000 pages. What's going on here? So 6,000 pages is what I'm reading. I'm on page 92 right now. It's a long way to go. All right. Something happens that everybody, we have like a major blackout or something, or, the grid goes out. Maybe it'll give me a few days to just sit and never mind. It is an online book. My books are now online. Ever since I moved, I gave away my books. I don't have physical, but I don't want to carry more books around next time if a move is about to happen, and it's who knows when it'll happen, but it'll happen eventually. And that's the thing. I'm like, no more heavy books, because for the meantime, I do enjoy physical books way more than the digital format. But that's fine. That's fine. So I don't know what I'll finish it. If it's 6,000 pages, but I'm on page 92 right now. So we're getting to a good start. things I'll say that I'm discovering as I go along, and every once in a while when I find something interesting, because it is 6,000 pages long, I'll come back and like, oh, I'm trying to understand it. Maybe we can understand this together. Things, and you do it. Unpacking of the Bible, of biblical texts. Adam and Eve. Start with these two individuals. These beautiful, our ancestors, I suppose, if we want to, take it literal or metaphorical, allegorical, who knows? Doesn't matter. They started off, they were nude, they were naked, they were nudists. They were in a nudist colony of two, which was nice. And God said, roam around here in this beautiful Garden of Eden, do your thing, eat whatever you want, do whatever you want, just stay away from this apple tree. And that's it, just to stay away from this tree. It's got apples, and do not eat the apples, despite, you hear doctors say, if you want to keep the doctor away, eat an apple a day, keep the dog. That's what the doctors say, which is crazy to say. They go through all that schooling, and they go through all the hundreds of thousands of dollars, millions of dollars sometimes in debt, and then they're like, just eat an apple. I don't want to see your ugly face. You could just told me that when we were both in university together. We could just big time in us with the apples and all that shit. But that's aside the point. God said, don't eat the apple, do whatever else you want. And it just went off. And these guys are just nude, walking around doing a thing. And Eve is just walking around the garden, and there's a snake that comes, Satan, the devil, slithers and just like, eat that apple. He said that in more or less words. He said that. And then Eve, a woman, gullible, you could say that. Gullible, she took the snake. She didn't question why the snake was talking. She didn't question it. The snake said, eat the apple. She ate the apple, gave some to Adam too. And then they tripped for a little while. They tripped. And then they came out of it, and then realized they were nude. They did not know they were nude prior to eating the apple, which is, got my questions, all right? They didn't know they were nude. They ate the apple, and they looked at it like, oh man, it's a cock and puss. That's not. And then they grabbed some shrubbery, as the Old Testament puts, and they covered themselves up, and then they ran and hid. They weren't too bright. They weren't too bright because they hid. Initially, when they found out they were naked, they hid from God, because God came around, walking around, where you guys at? And they're hiding. And it's like, that's God. You can't hide from God. If you want to, again, taking in knowledge, learning, trying to unpack it as I'm going along, all right? This isn't about belief. This is about already personally, we're all on our journey of whatever the journey is. And it's a good book. It's one of the best-selling books of all time, ever. God said, just come out of here. What'd you do? What'd you do? And they're like, we ate the apple, and now we're naked, and they discovered shame and the knowledge of their nudity. That's what they discovered. And God got all upset. He's like, oh, I'm sick and tired of this shit. He just started out too, so he wasn't, it's like a learning. I think this was single father. If you think about it, God was probably a single father, okay, raising his first two kids, no experience, nobody to like rely on. So he got pissed, he got mad, I guess. It's like, oh, you guys just don't listen. I said, eat everything, do anything you want, just don't eat the apple. Can't listen. All right, punishing you. All right, you're gonna go out there and work. You're gonna work, and you're gonna feed yourself off the sweat of your brow, or something along those lines. You're gonna work hard for this. You had free food, all right? Utopia, I gave you utopia. You had to just not eat the apple. Now you're gonna go and sweat it out. Sweat it out. Oh, I'm so mad. He said that. I'm so mad. Just like that. He said that. That's where the men, he said, you're gonna go work so you can have food to eat. There'll still be food, but you're gonna have to tend to it to eat and work and sweat. I want to get you in a sauna. I want to get you in a Pilates class. I want to see you go on a spin cycle, and I just want to see your sweat. He said that. And for the women, he said, Eve, you're gonna give birth, and it's gonna be fucking painful from now on. Before it was easy breezy, just slid out. The babies just slid out the vag prior to Eve eating the apple. There was no evidence of that, but nonetheless, until then, easy access babies. After the apple, there's BA, before apple, and AA, after apple. BA, easy birth. AP, placenta city. ripped vaginas, yelling, morphine, all that, hitting that button, asking for more. You're a fiend. You're a drug fiend, but it's okay. What are we even talking about? So yeah, God was like, I'm punishing you guys. Better listen. Could have given a little bit of a heads up in terms of like, there's gonna be, don't eat the apple. Also watch out for the slithering snake. That's the devil. Stay away from the snake. But it would have been nice to have a warning, because he didn't say it. He just said, don't eat the, because when people say something, I know it's God said it, but he's like, don't eat the apple. There's no mention of these snakes. There was no mention of like, watch out for this conniving snake. He'll come and say, eat the apple. Don't listen to God, eat the apple. Tree of knowledge is apple is good for you. God doesn't want you to know things. Eat the apple. He didn't warn him about the snake, so there was no warning. So you could, but again, single father. I'm single father trying to raise two human beings. And also he punished the snake. The whole snake community got fucked because of one snake that was the devil. The entire snake, he's like, from now on, you're gonna be crawling on your bellies and eating dirt. He said that to the snakes. To the entire snake community, because of one snake, the devil snake. You're going to be crawling on the earth, eating dirt for the rest of your life. As I'm thinking, we're like snakes, were they upright? Were snakes just walking upright prior? Just, on the tip of their tail walking on. You're going to crawl from now on. Just, because they were like this before, just fucking walking on the tip of their tail, just walking. Like, just walking. Just coming at you like that. But then they had to fucking... Right there, dude. From vertical to horizontal. Horizontal for life, that's your punishment. You're going to eat dirt. I said that to all the snakes, which, that I don't really care for snakes, but that's crazy to punish all the snakes for one snake who was the devil, who wasn't even the, devil snake. But again, I'm giving him the benefit of the doubt. He was this easy, and retrospect is all 2020. You can always go back and be like, you could have done it this way. That usually the early adapter of single parent households. That's what I'm getting to. It's an interesting story. I'm getting to it. I got to Noah. Noah was interesting. 600 years old without any floods, and then around 600 years, he's like, oh. God got angry again at the people on earth. He's like, you guys are you're roaming around too much, doing too many things. You're being all sorts of, heathens and all this. You're going to get flooded out. Noah, get an ark, fill it up. 2 of each animal, bird, creepy crawlies, whatever. You and your wife and your kids, get in there. It's going to be a flood. And he flooded the entire earth, covered the mountains. That's a big flood, covered all the mountains. Everest, under heaps of water, okay? For an entire year. He didn't even flood it for a day or a week. He flooded for an entire year. Again, I could see how you get upset being a single parent. There's a lot of pressure on you. You don't know what to do with these kids. They're not listening. Cut it out for an entire year. We're shutting it down. All right, so they shut it down for an entire year. That's what I'm learning. And he came back, and then the flood receded, and he's like, go out there, populate the earth. And then Noah lived till 900 some years old. 950 years old, I think. He lived, he had kids and stuff. I'm learning. All right, so he has so many, and they name the names, too many names. That's one of my, again, this guy gave birth to that son, and his son had another son, and his son had another son, and his son, too many names, all right? But it's all right, it's okay. They're not all main characters, but nonetheless, I'm learning. Which also brings me to another point. Low-key, should we have naked retards? Just think about it. Should retards be allowed to go around naked? I'm advocating for this. Please talk to somebody who has a little bit of power and legitimacy in your local city council. If we can get the retards to be naked, because they still don't know they're naked. They don't know they're naked, and they don't know the concept of shame. Why would they? They're living their best lives. So you gotta be, I guess, self-aware to a certain extent to be like, oh, I'm nude. Oh, I'm so ashamed. But they don't know that. They don't know. You know what I'm talking about. You see retards. Beautiful. They should be exempt from it. They shouldn't have to pay for this. You know what I'm talking about. I'm saying, moving forward, starting next week, we have naked retards, and just let them be free, dog. Let them be not restrained by modern clothing and attire. Let's just have them walk around free. You know what I'm talking about. Drooling, spazzing, Tourette'sing out there. Let them be naked and comfortable, okay? They're beautiful souls. Let them be naked and comfortable. I'm advocating for it. Please, please, let's come together. Let us join hands and make a difference. So I'm learning. That's how far I've gotten. We'll see what else comes out of this beautiful book. And yeah, shout out to JC. Still not any mention of JC, but I suppose that's further down the line. I'm only on page 92 right now. What else is going on in and around the world? I believe China. A Chinese Coast Guard rammed a regular Filipino boat. And I don't know why they rammed them, but I've got a few ideas as to why they rammed the boat. First and foremost, they were probably upset. They're like, oh, get out of our way. But they said it in Chinese. Get out of our way. In Chinese, they said it. We were trying to watch Glad You Made It. We got to get back to shore in Chinese. All right, they said that. And the Filipinos, they were trying to get to land as well and try to watch another episode of Glad You Made It. It was weird. And then tensions rose in the South China Sea. I think that's where they were. I'm not quite sure. I just like the sound of the South China Sea. Southeast Asia. I just like the sound of South Chinese Sea. Doesn't matter. The point is they were in a body of water. And I'm like, oh, if tensions are rising, I do want to be proactive. I do want to get on top of these things. Moving forward, I have noticed globally, there's a lot of, there's a lot of good things on the planet happening. There's a lot of other things that may not be as good, but lucrative nonetheless, which is why I like to say, without any judgment, without further ado, I'd like to step in and say that I'm ready to start dealing arms. I like to arm people. If that could be, I would arm you if you want to be armed. I'm telling you right now, if you're Chinese, if you're Filipino, if you want to start ramming one another, I just want to say you need a middleman. I'm good at being in the middle. All right, you want arms, they want arms. You want to go at it, I will sell it to you. We'll just need a few weapons manufacturing companies. If you can just, can work together. All right, I'm willing to sell anybody any weapons at any cost, at any price. If you wanna, then I said to them, you know what? If you want to just chill without the arms and watch Glad You Made It without having to go to any sort of conflict or any sort of war, or even a little tiny war, not even a big one. It doesn't matter. You could just watch Glad You Made It and not do all this. But if you want to throw down and money's going to be made, I do want to take a little chunk out of it. I do. Daddy wants a little piece of the pie. All right. Daddy wants his beak wet. I was going to say weak bet. Daddy wants his weak bet. Daddy wants his beak wet. Daddy wants to tip his toes in the pool. Daddy wants to feel the coldness of the water on the skin of his nutsack. Daddy wants to have his dick shrivel up and go inside him for a few seconds. That's what Daddy wants. So yeah, that's going on in Southeast Asia, South China, South Chinese Sea or something. I don't know what's going on. It's just watch yourselves, everybody. Watch yourselves. Congratulations, by the way, to North Korea. I do want to say North Korea, congratulations. Happy 80th birthday or anniversary. It was just this past weekend. Happened that it was the 80th anniversary of the Workers' Party of North Korea. The only party in North, and it's a good party. It's a solid party. They know how to party. If you showed up at the party, if you were smiling and cheering, showing signs of happiness, then you're good. If you were crying because of joy, overwhelmed with joy, 80 years of one family just giving you pure joy, and you two are okay. If you messed up the parade, because there was a military parade, all right? Kim Jong-un showed off his intercontinental IMBCs, intercontinental ballistic missiles, ICBMs, there you go. So many acronyms out there. God, he showed off those. And I'm telling you right now, again, if you were happy and you were clapping and cheering, then good on you. If you're crying because of joy, good. If you did anything else, there will be severe consequences, all right? We are not going to have parades ruined. It's done and over with, but I'm just letting you know in the future, if there's going to be parades, all right, all this man wants to do is just be a fatherly figure to the beautiful nation of North Korea. There will be consequences, all right, if you're not going to be happy. But outside of that, I'm just here to say that we're all in this together, and it's a great day to be alive. What are we even talking about? What day is this? Wednesday. That's right. That's right. In the UK, globally speaking, that is events, beautiful things that are happening in and around the world. In the UK, a beautiful old church, one of the oldest cathedrals, if I'm not mistaken, the oldest one in England, got a little bit of they did a little bit of feng shui change, if you will, a little bit of redecoration of the church. It was a good church, a solid church. They're like, let's revamp this, let's do a little bit of, moving things around, adding things, let's just, help out and come and, put out a hand and say to the marginalized groups and people who are marginalized, I don't know who, to marginalized groups, that we're here for you, we're reaching out, and you shouldn't feel left out. And how do they do this? By putting up graffiti stickers in the church. They put up graffiti stickers. First, I thought they just spray painted the church, which got me. I'm like, oh man, did you just? But then I found out it wasn't spray paint. It was just stickers. So they put the stickers in the cathedral to say, hey, marginalized people, hey, foreigners, we hear you, we see you. And as a part of an outreach program, in order to get more of you to come and join and do things the way we do it, we're putting up things that you enjoy as graffiti, because everybody knows people who marginalized people like graffiti. You should know that. You should know that. That's the number one thing they like. It's graffiti. Marginalized groups. It's a big umbrella. I don't know who they are, but they like graffiti. I think it's a way. It's an attempt to try to get the new arrival. I guess it's for the immigrants or the new immigrants or whatever. They got graffiti. But if you really want to get them, give them things that they really enjoy. Give them things like rap music. Give them rap music. The immigrants with the rap music. Give them that. Put some rap songs. Put a DJ in the cathedral. Blast some rap music. They like the raps. All right. Give them some guns so they can shoot it in the church, or they can shoot the guns in the church. This is for the marginalized. Don't cut corners. Go all the way out. If we can give them a little bit of murder, put a little bit of murder in the church to appease the marginalized, because they do like murder. Low key, they do like murder. Gangs and murder, they do enjoy that. We're reaching out to the marginalized groups, all right? Murder, gang activity, graffiti, yes, and a little bit of rape. Would go a long way. I'm telling you right now, put a little bit of rape in the church to tell the marginalized people that we're here for you. We're giving you things that you like. Rape, rap, murder, gangs, and graffiti. Come one, come all. All right? So it's a good attempt. It's a starting point. I think only the sky's the limit. And there's room for everybody. What else is going on in and around the world? I believe a Qatari airbase is being built, ladies and gentlemen, in Idaho. I heard that one in Idaho, which is nice. And it's got its pros and cons. All right, it's easy to just look at the pros, ignore the cons, and the other way is true as well. It's easy to look at the cons and ignore all the positives. We've done this with other nation states before. I believe done it with Germany at one point, and maybe a few other countries have partnered up with the U.S. and they built Air Force facilities in parts of the U.S. and they train with the U.S. troops, and that's nice. That's good. To train, put Qatari F-15s and train with the troops, get training, and we work in partnership. That's good. That's nice. And it's in Idaho, which is good. There's the positives. But I do want to say, just be careful because there's precedent. There's precedent. I'm telling you right now. There's certain things you got to just, partnership's one thing, business is one thing, but then you got to also be mindful. It's a fine balance of partnership, business, and then like maintaining your overall, what does it mean to have a national identity and all that stuff. Because I'm telling you right now, it's easy to take the money. It's easy to take the money. I'll point to the English Premier League in England, in the UK. All right? Took a lot of that Middle Eastern, money. Took a lot of these clubs. A lot of these clubs got bought out by sheiks and sultans and peppers and kings. And they came and dumped a whole ton of money. In some cases, it helped the teams because the more money you got, the chances of you winning the Premier League title is higher. You get a lot of money, you buy the best players, you might have a better chance. Doesn't always work out that way. There's a good correlation and causation with the most spent money and most gained trophies at the end of the season. There's a good direct, but at the same rate, then you end up complaining about the, you're like, oh, what about our identity? So I'm just letting you know in time. I'm not saying one Air Force facility is going to turn you into, Islamic nation, but I'm just like, heads up, just mind your P's and Q's, watch out for that, because it's one Air Force facility right now, and you're like, oh, it's nothing. Next thing you know, you're jihading. You are jihading. Do you want Idaho farmers to be jihading out there? All right, so I'm just letting you know. Again, just think of me as the old canary in the coal mine, just, watching porn and saying, watch out, It's fine. It's all good for now. It is all good for now until everybody starts wearing a dashiki. Until you, I don't know what I'm saying. The point is that watch out is what I'm trying to say. Next thing you know, you're like, oh, how does it feel to never shave again? And that you let your beards go. You fucking let your beards go. It's innocent Air Force facility for now. Next thing you know, just forgot to use a shave, forgot to use a razor, forgot to, do a little bit of manscaping, Next thing you know, you're like, oh, maybe I'll switch this hot dog for some tahini. This is how they get you, man. This is how they get you. Or not. Honestly, it's good to just come together and just build and grow together. That's good. It is good. It is good. We had to make it up to them. They're partners. We're partners. They gave us a beautiful giant plane. The next thing you know, they got bombed by Israel. And the next thing you know, this is a nice little form of like, hey, this is good. This is us working together. You build an Air Force facility in Idaho. We're pals. We're pals. The chic attire, I'm seeing that. I just saw it because President Trump just went to the Middle East for the whole peace talks and, the signing of the peace deal between Israel and Hamas. And everybody was wearing suits and ties, and everybody was, except a few people of the Middle East who showed up in the chic attires, the headgear. And I'm just sitting there watching this, and I'm wondering, is it comfortable? Is it actually genuinely comfortable? And I could see the case for it either being the most comfortable or the least comfortable. I don't know. I've never tried it on. On the one hand, everybody's in suits, ties, all fucking, and these guys are kind of low-key loose. They're loose. It is a looser, it's just, what is it? Is it linen? It's fine. It's the finest linen. It's Egyptian cotton, isn't it? What is it? It's cashmere, isn't it? It's really, wonder if it's comfortable. Roomy, I'll tell you that, roomy. It's probably got a lot of room. There's no chafing with, that attire, the whole, we're running. You do not want to be caught running in that thing. I'm telling you right now, not comfortable for running. That's when it's probably not good to have that on. It's just sandals, a whole full body. It looks like a robe. It looks like a bath. It looks like if you just came out of the bath and you just put like a towel on your head and you're wearing a robe. It looks like that. Is it comfortable? I don't know. There's a sense of like, There's a Hugh Hefner vibe to it, I'm not gonna lie. Everybody's in suits, everybody's dressed up to a certain degree. You're walking in there just fucking, you know, dick flapping, and it's white too. You must see outlines. You probably see a lot of dick root with that, you know, which is again a power move, isn't it? In that sense, I could see myself probably, you know, if we're showing dick root for, if it's a power move you want, it's a power move you get. Maybe I should adopt wearing that, especially during hotter temperatures in the summertime, you know, do a little bit of a wet dashiki contest, you know? What else is going on? I believe somebody, I don't know if it's one person or a group of, I'm assuming it's a group of people. He's a professional, he's out there, he's a figurehead, talking about Gavin Newsom. I think somebody pulled him over, or maybe a group of people pulled him over, and they really want this guy to run. That's what I'm getting from the outside. They really want this guy to run for president, I think. And they told him, Gavin, you got to start being less of a lizard. They told him that. And they've done, the left Democrats have done their research over the past, I guess they're learning, everybody's learning, we're all learning together. They're learning, they're like, you need to connect with, you know, just regular human beings. To connect with these guys and gals, working class, human, you know, just everyday folk, just regular, you know, can't just be wearing suits all the time and looking always, you know, like, stop, you know, just quit looking like a lizard all the time. They said that. And he's like, how do I do that? And they're like, cuss a little bit more, Gavin. When you get out there, cuss it. Give me just a moment. Just give me a second. Hold on. What is it?
It's Wendy, Rob.
I'm just in the middle of work right now.
Okay, just if you can hear me, the guy's not going to come tomorrow because of head office problems, so he's going to come after the 20th. I'll give you notice then.
No worries. All good.
Okay, thank you, Rob.
Appreciate it, Wendy. Dun 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 dun. Life situations. And I do apologize about that. Nonetheless, where was I? What was I talking about? Gavin Newsom, less of a lizard, that's right. And that's the shit that you don't get in other podcasts. Because we're gonna need to have a guy come in and fix something within the unit. Issues with the pipes or something. I don't know what's happening. Where was I? Gavin Newsom, less of a lizard. That's right. They're like, if you want to connect with the regular folk out there, go out there and cuss a little bit more. And he's like, how much do I cuss? They're like, just cuss, a throwing cuss word. He just did a recent podcast with somebody. He was sitting down, and this is my impression of Gavin Newsom after being told that you need to be less of a lizard by just cussing a little bit more. Well, they're kicking our ass over here, so we gotta go out there and kick their ass over there. It's like we're pounding their ass, and they're pounding our ass, and you gotta kick some ass, and you gotta kick some ass to not get your ass kicked. You know what I'm talking about? This son of a bitch over here, son of a bitch over there. Shit, fuck, shit, fuck, ass. Shit, fuck, ass. Ugh. Bullshit. Shit, fuck. This is, things, if we're gonna have to kick some ass. Bullshit. I say bullshit, you son of a bitch. And then like, who you calling a son of a bitch? And I said, over here, you want some of this, you son of a bitch over there, you da. And then with the puss. And then shit. That's my impression of Gavin Newsom after being told to be less of a lizard by cussing a little bit more. Shit, fuck, shit, tough guy. Tough guys, regular guys and gals cuss. I'm a regular guy, I'm a regular gal, I'm an everyday guy, gal. Shit, fuck, puss. Shit. Bullshit. Ass. Son of a bitch. Son of a bitch. Totally relatable. Gavin Newsom, not a lizard. Son of a bitch. Ass. Shit. Bullshit. Son of a bitch wanna come over here with this guy, with that guy, say, you son of a bitch over there with the guy and the gal, we gotta kick some ass and take it over here with the son of a bitch. Totally relatable, not a lizard. What else is going on? It's hard being a human when you're not a human. It is. He's trying. It's okay. What else is going on? I believe the butterflies and bees are apparently going extinct. We've heard of this before, but I just recently learned that the numbers of them going extinct are doubling or have doubled in the past 10 years. They're gonna be dying soon. They're dying. The bees and their pollinators, and we're heavily reliant on them apparently. We're dependent on these little fucks, these little tiny animals, especially in Europe. Apparently they're just fucking, I don't know. I don't follow bees. I don't follow butterflies. I don't know if it's true or not, but apparently we're dependent on them. So they go pollinate here and there, and then if they don't do that, we're gonna die. Apparently they said that. They said that if the bees die, we die. Apparently they're into dying. They want to go extinct, and I say it's 2025. I say it's time we cut off this. You know, do we want to be this dependent on tiny animals that are, you know, black and yellow? Butterflies. You know, do we want to be dependent on these guys? Because yeah, they're pretty, they're beautiful, but dependency, that's a little bit a little bit too, you know, a little bit too comfortable for my taste. I like a little bit of distance. Let us not be so comfortable. So in order to fight this, if they want to go extinct and they're not doing anything about it, I don't see bees or butterflies exercising. I don't see them lifting weights. I don't see them eating any healthier than, you know, always going out with the fast foods, always going, you know, they eat, let me just get that nectar. Let me get the nectar from the flower. Eat the flower. Eat the entire flower, you stupid bee. Always getting the liquid inside. What's your digestive system like if you're not even chewing food? So they're not helping themselves. I say, if they want to go extinct, then we help them go extinct, all right? A few things if we could pull together. If you see a beehive, they've told you probably not to get near it or touch it. I want you to touch it and get close to it, all right? Get rid of it, because they're going extinct, man. They are going extinct, and they're just, I don't like threats, all right? You get up in our space and you start threatening us with potential extinction, and we've had other animals go extinct, all right? And we're still here. We're still here. We will make mechanical bees and butterflies if we need to. We got the technology, little nano robots that just fly in and fly out, all right? You're working for this. Who is this queen? I want to see this queen of yours, all right? This mysterious queen figure who's just having her way with the rest of the male bees. I want to see this queen. I've yet to, you know what I'm talking about? Just the activities are sus overall. And the butterflies, you know what I mean? You know, just a regular butterfly, or no, opens up the wings and all of a sudden you're like, what is this pattern? What am I looking at? Is it trying to tell me something? Why does it look like a face? What's up with butterflies is what I'm asking. So if they want to go extinct, if you know, they've said to don't touch them, don't kill them. I'm not saying kill them, but like fucking don't let them get in your territory. Just get in their face and back off, butterfly. We have technology, all right? We're merging with, we are becoming robots. We don't need you anymore. You're outdated. Butterflies and bees. So if you see a beehive, attack it. Forget what I said. They said not to attack it immediately. Throw your baby at the beehive. Let your baby, because it's relatively the same size as a beehive, throw your baby at the beehive. Butterflies, if you see them, shoot them, because bees going extinct was a thing, but I think the butterflies have just heard about this and are jumping on the bandwagon to, want to get a little bit of attention. It's like, you know what, buddy? Be a little bit proactive like the ladyboy spiders and start an OnlyFans, all right? Start an OnlyFans, quit complaining and start an OnlyFans, and maybe we can see some way to, direct money in your bank accounts. But other than that, it's just too much. And the dependency and the reliance. I don't like being dependent. I don't like being reliant on. If you're gonna be there, be there. You're gonna be there and be like, I think I'm going extinct. Go extinct already, all right? All right, little fella? Plenty of other two-tone animals who are more than happy to stay alive. If we just, do bare minimum, they will stay alive. Out there with your extinction threats. I don't like it. I don't like threats. I don't negotiate with terrorists. I don't think that's what we're about. I don't think that's what we do up in this bitch. All right. What have you been talking about? That's right, bees and butterflies. Don't get me started on the bees and the birds. Unless you want me to start about the bees and the birds. The bees and the birds. If I could say a few things about the bees and the birds. Outside of the whole extinction threat, they are great animals, bees and also birds. In terms of our ability to use them, allegorically speaking, to describe sexual activities between our own species, our own human species. The bees represent I've actually never received the birds and the bees talk myself. I've heard of it. I've heard a lot about it. The birds are the females. Birds are the females and the bees are the females and the birds are the males. Now what the birds do with the bees is that at one point or another, when the bees are old enough, of appropriate age bees, when they're old enough, the birds will fly by, and I think they do bukakis on the back of the bees. Again, I've never received the talk myself, but apparently it helps explaining sexual innuendo between humans, how to reproduce. Reproduction 101, birds and the bees. When you see a bird and a bee, if the beehive is a rockin', don't go jerking off like a voyeur. Tell a friend, jerk off in a circle while watching the beehive rockin'. I've never received that talk. I don't know what it's about. I think we got the gist of it. That's just gonna deduce and say I'm correct. I think that's it. Basically. If you see birds and the bees doing role play and wearing masks and, then they might be, I don't know if Epstein's related to this whole birds and bees thing, but it's bigger than we thought. But I'm going to move forward and say there's more to be discovered, and we'll do it together. What else is going on? If you like terrorists, by the way, if you like fighting terrorists, and if you like sharpening your knives and your guns and your ammo is just looking to get put into a terrorist cell, then I like to tell you we have good news, bad news. Bad news, terrorists are alive and kicking again. That's the bad news. Good news, if you're into terrorist killing business, that's good news. The Taliban is apparently back. Ladies and gentlemen, that's right. Taliban 2.0, or just regular it's back, but this time it's not just in Afghanistan, it's popping up in Pakistan as well. I think Pakistan and Afghanistan have been kind of beefing a little while for the past little while, in the past few days. I don't know if there was further beef prior. I don't know what's going on, but the Taliban is back. So good news, bad news. Bad news, terrorists. Good news, we're at least familiar with them. We know who they are. All right, so sharpen your knives, buff your bullets, put on your, I think we're gonna have to go back. We pulled out, but I think at one point or another we do have to, and again, any conflict moving forward, because I'd like to make a few dollars off of this. I will sell weapons to anyone, whether you're Chinese, whether you're Filipino, whether you're Afghan or you're Pakistani. I will get in there. Again, I just need a few weapons manufacturing companies we can partner up, and this podcast could easily be brought to you by, Raytheon. Is that a weapons manufacturing company, or what's the other ones? There's so many other ones. I don't know. All right. What else is going on? Speaking of terrorisms, and the good news is that we did get the hostages released. That was beautiful. Fuck yeah, dude. We did that shit. President Trump did that shit, most of it, Hostages are released. As a hostage, if you are released right now, if you're an Israeli hostage that you've been released, some people, specifically the hostages, might have some questions for the podcast. If you've been with me from the get-go, and if you've not been able to watch some of the episodes because you were taken as a hostage, I want to welcome you back. It's okay. You can either watch the prior episodes or just jump in any day. And the questions are from the hostages. This has been brought forward to my attention. I'm a former hostage. It was tough, it was rough. How do I milk this moving forward? Can I get more puss using the hostage story? And I'm glad you asked that. Thank you for, first and foremost, Shalom L'chaim Karav Maga, the martial art, that's basically, I'm just talking in Yiddish right now, and I'll go back to English for the sake of, for the sake of the show. You don't want to see this guy go Yiddish, dude. I will fucking mutz up all your ass all over the place. The point is that you're back, and we're glad that you're back. Yes, thank you for that lovely question. You could for certain get more puss now that you're back, and you can milk it with, who could you milk this story with? Family, friends, relatives, co-workers, really anybody. If you want to not do much for the rest of your life, because not many people get taken hostage and then get to come back and tell this story, okay? You're at home, you're sitting with your mom, your dad, your aunts, uncles. You should not lift a finger, dinner is ready. I'll just, I guess I'll grab my own plate of dinner. Or you could just be like, oh, my wrist hurts, the inside of my body aches from this experience of being taken off. If only. There's probably not much anybody could do or say to help remedy this pain, but perhaps somebody could just bring me a plate of food. And next thing you know, your people are bringing food to you left, right, and center. Your mom's gonna be bringing you food. Your wife, if you're married, she'll probably bring you some food. They'll probably have a fight over who's gonna bring you more food. And you can milk this shit, son. You can milk it. Not many people go hostage and then come back and live to tell the tale. So milk it. As for getting more tail, that's a great pickup line. It's a great pickup line. You could go to any bar, any coffee shop, any hookah lounge in the Middle East, and just spit some game. All the other guys are going up there and saying, oh, I'll take you out to a din, and I'm just a regular guy who works at 9 to 5 and I don't know, big tech or whatever. You could waltz in there and be like, I can't hold a job right now because of all the traumatic experiences of being a hostage, being taken by Hamas. But I don't want to talk about it. I'm fine. Next thing you know, puss is being thrown at you. Ladies love certain things. Scars on guys, they love that shit. Okay? And also hostages, it's up there. If you came back from a hostage, you could get pretty much laid anywhere in the world, and just drop it a little bit, just be like, low-key former hostage, don't want to talk about it, dramatic, oh, the sounds, the noises, the barbarity. And they'll look at you and say, God, he's so brave. And that's how you get more puss. It's a great pickup line. It's also a great way to put down people, not not make them feel bad, but if you want to hit it and quit it, have the sex and be like, I don't know if this whole thing is gonna work out, baby. I'm a former hostage. I don't know if I can. It's gonna take me some time to get back to normal civilian life. You wouldn't understand. Not many people do, and then just leave. Nobody's gonna question you. What are you gonna go bother a hostage and be like, no, put a ring on it right now? So again, you're welcome. Looking out for the hostages as always. There you have it. There you have it. Diane Keaton just passed away. Rest in peace. Former God lady, former godmother. Starred in the movie The Godfather opposite Al Pacino. They could have just said starring Pal Acino, because why would you say opposite Al Pacino? Just say Pal Acino. If it was opposite Al Pacino, then it'd be Pal Acino. I don't know what, but then it was Al Pacino. I don't know why they said starring opposite anybody, really, for that matter. Like, you know, starring opposite Keanu Reeves. Is it Keanu Reeves or is it Rihanna Keeves? Who is it? Why would you say opposite then if it's starring opposite whoever? Don't get it. But nonetheless, she died. Her last remaining wishes were for you to continue to watch and support this show. Of course, she had nothing else to give. She's lived a full, beautiful life, made many beautiful movies. But yes, I believe she just wanted the rest of the people on earth who are living right now to watch this particular show. You don't know what she wanted, all right? A beautiful woman just died. Have some fucking respect questioning what she wanted or what she didn't want. What she wanted. And she tried to ask me about my business, and I said, you can only ask me once. She said, are you now on TikTok? I said, low-key I am, but that's the last time you're gonna ask about Diane Keaton. It's the goddamn last time you're gonna ask about it. And I went into the other room and I started smoking a couple of cigarettes, and it's neither here or there. The point is that she starred opposite Al Pacino. Maybe she just starred, you know, in front of Pal Acino. Who could get it straight, Hollywood? Fucking get it straight. Starring opposite. Wow. Fucking confusing people. Speaking of confusing people, I do want to just mention that yes, God, also going back to things that I remember in the Bible, he did. People at one point moved to Sodom and Gomorrah, they had one language, we had one common language all of a sudden. And then this is the part that confuses me and other people, because that's, I believe his intention was to do that. He said, I'm going to confuse people. These guys have built a tower in Sodom and it's gone all the way up to, who knows, it's a tall tower, big tower. I think that was the first, that was the first version of the Twin Towers that, going down. He's like, I don't like tall towers. I don't like tall buildings. Who built this building? And he's like, oh, if they built this building working together and they all have one language, oh, what else could they do? And he's like, let me confuse them by separating them and giving them different languages. Did God confuse us then? Did we? Because we all had one common language. Apparently, God said, let's confuse. Why would you confuse us more then? There's more to, again, page 92. I'm reading more, finding out more. But apparently, it's, again, if I'm wrong anywhere, leave a comment. If I'm right, also leave a comment. I don't know. I'm trying to figure it out. All right, rest in peace, Diane Keaton. The point is that Hamas went for a few hours without killing anyone, which was after the peace deals, that is, after the peace deals. Afterwards, they went and did a whole bunch of public executions. They publicly executed a whole bunch of people. Hamas is good news, bad news. Good news, I think this was for a little while, for a few hours, 10, 12, 24, 36, I went on for a few hours where they didn't kill anyone, I think. But then, it's just, what do? You're Hamas, right? Talking to other Hamas members. What should we do? It's, we've not been doing anything for the past few hours. I mean, what do you want to do over there? We want to go drink some tea and play a little bit of the old backgammon. Drink some of the old hookah, shisha. Walk, drink tea a little bit. Habibi, maybe smear a little bit of the old hummus on our chest and get a little sunbathing. Khamsa, maybe. And others were like, oh, I don't know about the whole drinking tea, rubbing the old hummus. You always want to rub hummus on your chest. Say we get back to killing. And they went back to the killing. So that's what they did. They went back to the killing. It was a good solid few hours of no killing, but afterwards it was public execution. Public execution, which is it's you know, overall not good, but you know, trying to, it's for everyone. It was public. It wasn't like there was no, you know, there was no paywall. It's like if you're there, you'll see it. And that was, so that's, fucking, we're doing it. Fucking, oh, get up there, dude. We're doing it. We're doing things together. What are you even talking about? It's Wednesday, baby. It's Wednesday. What else is going on in and around the world? I do believe Alec Baldwin, if I'm not mistaken, Alec Baldwin was just recently caught up in a accident, a little driving accident. As far as I'm concerned, nobody's hurt. I'm glad to hear that. And in defense of Alec Baldwin, I'd just like to take this moment and say it is not Alec Baldwin's fault, all right? This happened in the Hamptons, if I'm not mistaken. Alec Baldwin is just an actor. It is not his fault, all right? I know people like to just jump to conclusions and, all right? Typically speaking, somebody checks the road before Alec Baldwin gets on the road, all right? Somebody checks the road. Somebody checks the car. Typically, somebody checks the car before Alec Baldwin gets in the car. The tree, also, there's people that work who check the trees, maintain the lawn work, and take care of all the, the shrubbery and all that. But somebody was, so it's not his fault that he rammed his car into a tree. Why was the tree even there in the first place? All right. So Alec Baldwin is not his fault. I'll just say that is not his fault. Somebody's supposed to check all these things. All right. Apparently they weren't in that day, and they had their young, inexperienced daughter go check the tree, the road, and the car, and all of a sudden it's like, oh, driving a car right into a tree. So it is not his. Alec Baldwin is just a good actor. He's just a good actor. He is not at fault here. And no one got hurt. That's the good thing about it, is no one got hurt. And yeah, there's many things, many steps prior to the tree being hit by Alec Baldwin's car. People are, it's easy to just point to the person who's behind the wheel and say, what's going on over here? I'm letting you know right now. We're gonna ask the road maintenance people what was going on before the whole incident with the tree. Ask, why was that tree even there? Who put the tree there? Where's the forest maintenance people? Where are those guys? You just put trees willy-nilly all up in the fucking, tree here, tree there. What is this, anarchy? And the cars, who built the car? Who built the car? Who put gas in the car before Alec Baldwin got inside the car? All right. These are all the questions we should be asking, not just saying Alec Baldwin hit a tree, all right? That's in defense of Alec Baldwin, in case anybody wanted to jump to conclusions. And what else is going on? I believe a whole bunch of environmental activists in Madrid went and threw paint at a painting of Christopher Columbus, aka Chrissy Columbus, to activate against the environment, or for the, I don't know what they do. But they threw paint at this giant painting. And ever since the environmental activation has been activated, these activists have done a lot. They've changed people's minds globally. There has been so much positive impact coming out of throwing paint at paintings. throwing paint at buildings, at different companies, damaging property essentially. It's been extremely productive, but if you want to be more productive, this isn't me speaking, this isn't just some guy from a podcast, all right? This isn't just some podcast that Diane Keaton wanted you to watch. This is the real deal right here. If you really want to make a difference out there for anything, if it happens to be environment, so be it. If it happens to be any other cause, the number one way to get your point across and have the cause actually move forward is for you to rip your genitals off. There, I said it. A lot of people don't want to hear it. A lot of people are like, oh no, keep your gender intact. If you want your point to be made, paint on a painting can only go so far, you know? Paint on the side of a building can only go so. If you really want to change minds, you rip your penis off. If you're a lady, tear that tit off and just chuck that tit. Once you chuck a tit, you will see the power of chucking a tit. Once that tit is chucked at said cause, immediately people will start realizing what they're doing, changing their behavior. Their entire lives will change, the way they consume things, the way we manufacture things, everything will change. So despite the fact that yes, the paint throwing has been extremely positive and has again made a significant impact, if you really want to get things done, again, this is not just one guy telling you to, but this is the entire scientific community is coming and saying that if you want to drive your point home, grab your peen or your vag, rip it off. Easier to rip off a peen than to rip off a vag. Sew it shut. Sew your puss shut, and you'll see the cause will just snowball and get bigger and bigger and become faster, and people will, because we do need people to, see it from your perspective, and that's the best way. I can't help any more than that. I think this is, it's only so much I can do. So do a whole, just shove hormone blockers down your throat, and that'll just, if you really want to make a difference, throwing pain is good and all, but this is a sure way to just get the point across. We had a question come in and somebody asked us if I'm in a business sauna. That's a business meeting, but it's in a sauna. Somebody asked us if they're in that business sauna, is it okay to start masturbating in that business sauna? That was the question that was brought forward. Thank you for that question. Thank you for opening up and putting yourself out there. Of course, I know, and you as the viewers and listeners of this show know that if somebody asks one question, there's probably a higher chance of billions of people having a similar question. And to answer that, I'll just be straight up with you. Yes, of course it's appropriate for you to masturbate during a business sauna. A lot of people like to avoid masturbating in a business sauna meeting. They're worried about, of course, the obvious. Overheating and overexhausting yourself. You're in a sauna, it's a business deal, it's a whole meeting with people there. We don't want to see you pass out. We don't want to see anybody getting hurt. But the question is it okay? If there are people in there and you're conducting business, because you've heard the saying, that like people ask, well, is this for business or pleasure? Oftentimes people like to, divide things and put it into like a binary and say it's either this or either that. It's either black or it's either white. It's either, 1 or 0. Life is, it's a combination of many things. It's not just one or the other. You don't have to just say, oh, this is business. This is, of course, this is professional. Say you're in a sauna and it's a business sauna. Start masturbating and you'll notice the business transactions will go much more, it'll just start moving forward way more smoothly than previously. It would probably help if you not just masturbated by yourself in a corner. I would suggest if you're like sitting beside people to start probably masturbating right there, because you don't want to isolate yourself from the group and be like, you guys do business, I'll be over there. And you want to make sure everybody feels welcome, and because again, it's business, but it is a collective gathering. It's a team, whether it's just one team where we're discussing our business plan or multiple teams coming together, businesses, in the same industry. It could be titans of the business meeting together in a business sauna, and you don't want to, again, be over there by yourself. You want to make sure that you get it on while everybody is, and encourage others, invite others to also, because oftentimes people will see somebody masturbating in the sauna and say, well, they're doing it, I wonder if I should invite them, and to be like, would you like to? A lot of people say, should I put a little bit of water on this rock over here? And that's for everybody, that's for everyone. So the same thing applies. If you're masturbating in the business sauna, ask if would anybody like to, ejac, squirt anyone, squirt, and you'll see. Women love it, men love it, and again, it shouldn't always be like, oh, we're just crunching numbers and meeting the, quarterly budget. This, life doesn't have to be. The more you have fun while you're doing the work, the less it feels like work. So I hope that answers your question. Of course, there is, you don't want to be getting anything in anybody's eye unless they asked for it. It's the sauna. It's already hard enough to see if you got a good steam going. You don't want people to like have to leave and go clean their face. So like aim low is what I say. Unless you go ahead and ask everybody, would anybody like a facial? Then by all means, give them a facial. But again, don't catch anybody off guard and surprise, and things do happen to everybody. Everybody should also know things do happen. You can't always have a perfect aim and get it to where you want it to go. But as long as, it's really the intent that counts, and team building, that's the most important thing. I hope that answers your question out there, and thank you for that. That's so honorable of you. What else is going on? I believe SpaceX just launched a giant rocket, one of the biggest rockets I've seen in a long time. It launched out of Texas and it went into space, I think. I don't know where it's heading, to be honest. I just saw the video for a few seconds. I don't know where it's heading. Is it going to Mars? Is it going to the moon? Is it just going up in space? I don't know. It was magnificent. And again, I've not seen anything like it before, but apparently the scientific community has come outside and just, they wanted people to know there could be parallels. They said, these are their words, and you can trust the science. They said there could be parallels drawn between the giant SpaceX rocket being launched and to my penis, they said that. And I'm like, hey, since you guys are saying it, I'm not trying to, I've never been a guy to be like, oh, my cock is huge or anything. It's not, it's just a regular cock. But again, this is the scientific community and saying that parallels could be drawn between the giant SpaceX rocket and my cock. I think, and I could see it from their perspective. I could see how they could draw those conclusions and draw those parallels. I do get erect, and as soon as I fall asleep, a few hours into, I do feel it. Just get erect, and it stays up, and it's rock solid till the morning, until and that's with me masturbating prior to falling asleep. So again, I think it's the whole, again, the phallic shape of the rocket, my consistency with launching every night and still being able to launch once again every time in the morning. But, you know, again, but that's just the scientific community. I don't want to, if they want to say it, then by all means, I'm not going to argue and say it is or it isn't. It's just, thank you. I appreciate it. You guys have done so much. I do want to also mention this. This has been on my mind for some time. And again, if it's on my mind, I know deep down inside somebody out there might be feeling the same way. This is a safe space. We are a family after all and everything. There's nothing off the table. There's nothing that we will not touch or discuss. Let's just say it the way it is. Matt Damon, Mark Wahlberg, you know it, I know it, they're the same person. Matt Damon and Mark Wahlberg are the same person, ladies and gentlemen. And it's high time that Hollywood fucking comes clean and starts being accountable for its cloning operation that is running, and it's people see it, people want to pretend like it's not there, but I think enough is enough, all right? Enough is enough. And yes, I do love, there's aspects of Hollywood that I love, and there's aspects of it which I probably, you know, don't like as much, but nothing is perfect. But this one thing, Hollywood, if you could just, the people want answers. People want answers. The truth is out there. We will not stop. Like, we'll take a break every now and again because it's unnatural to not take a break. But after that, we will continue and we will seek out these answers and we will get to the bottom of this shit. All right? Quit pretending like you don't have some sort of secret cloning operation where it's just because we see it, it's right there in front of us, right there. And until we get our answers, we will not rest. Again, until maybe we've approached a rest spot, you know, maybe there's a motel on the way that we need to just go and take a rest and just put our feet up and get our dick sucked. But after that, it's just business. It's just business. Until next time, ladies and gentlemen, peace out. Get out of here.